You are listening to the Live and Level Gamers podcast in association with FullEffectGaming.com. See, we don't play those games. We just play those games. Level Head Game. John Shaw, K-Bomb 20, D2K, Jedi Knight. The Live and Level Gamers podcast, where gamers come to talk.
What's up, people? It's your boy Levelhead back with another Live and Level Gamers podcast. You know how we do. Need y'all to go on here and get up. James Brown is talking to you. He's talking to you. Hear the keys. No, I wish I could play like that. But I like how you say that. But anyway, it is what it is, folks. Let's go. So, anyway, welcome to the Live and Level Gamers podcast. This is the Sunday's edition. Hopefully, Jedi Knight jumps on here. Possibly John Shaw and even Keith. But right now, we have some of my favorite people in the world, starting with Mr. Prime himself.
Well, no, you're making me feel all. I'm starting to give a clamp. You call me a special person. That's very touching. Thank you very much.
All right, and Captain America.
Yeah, let's do this. I'm ready. I'm hyped. Let's go.
Okay, so we finally got something legit to talk about. You know what I'm saying? No rumors, no drama, no. We actually got something to. What? just news. We got the VGAs just passed. We got the PlayStation Experience just took place. We all got a chance to see Doctor Strange. That's why I'm hoping John Shaw jump on here. We all got an opportunity to see Doctor Strange. I was late to the party. Yes, I was late to the party. But anyway, now we can talk that. Also, we gonna deal with we got a new segment called Name That Tune. I'm gonna see if these guys could name some of these old game tunes, see if they know what game the music is coming from. So we got a little bit set up for you guys, and hopefully y'all that's listening, y'all can name that tune in the comment section. If you know you can guess what it is, go ahead and type it in the comment section. But anyway, with that being said, let's start what we always do, and that's what you're gaming on. And I'm going to throw it over to D2K to let us know what he's been gaming on since this past Thursday.
Just been playing Halo Master Chief Collection last couple of days. Played some Tekken Tag Tournament to rediscover why I don't play it. Because I don't like dealing with Jun Kasama at the end. She is about as cheap as a boss.
That's my girl, though.
Yeah, but not at the end. No. She's about as cheap as a boss is, Bison back in the day. It's just like you can't do anything. You cannot make a mistake. You make one mistake, the match is over. Veer. So
Hey, you said Tekken Tag 2?
Tekken Tag 2.
Yeah. I don't think what that come out on? That was 360 days?
Yeah, 360 days. Yeah.
I don't think I played it.
You didn't? Hmm.
I don't think I ever got it. No, and I'm a huge Tekken fan. I didn't. What was going on? I think Dark Resurrection that came out after, right? Dark Resurrection.
No, that was before. That was from Tekken 5, and then they had Tekken 6.
No. They did Dark Resurrection on the PlayStation. I'm not talking about the Vita version. They redid it and did it a free to play.
I don't know.
I think it was. I think
I had that for the PSP, Dark Resurrection.
Yeah, I know. They redid it on the PlayStation and made it free to play.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was lit.
Okay. Yeah.
I think I was done because I think which one was the bad one? Was it 4 or was it 5? Was the bad?
Four was the most
worst.
unpopular one because they used the engine from a game called Guys, which didn't really get over very well.
It was terrible though.
Yeah, it didn't. The railing system was different because it was like I said, it was an engine from a different fighting game.
Okay.
It just didn't work for Tekken.
It didn't. I hated it. I think it was during that phase where I was hating Tekken. No, for real. 4 made me hate the franchise because, and I think 5 had juggles. Juggles were just ridiculous. I think on 5.
Well, the volleyball physics of Tekken is just something that's part of its mystique, and it's annoying. But that's
no, but
Tekken.
it was worse though. It was worse, and that's why in the Dark Resurrection, on the free to play version, they toned it down because they realized they like if you didn't like all you had to know was like for the combo to push you up in the air, and then once you was in the air, you know what I'm saying, you're a victim to whatever's going to happen to you. And so they actually toned down the volleys on the Dark Resurrection, and then the next Tekken they toned it down as well because they saw it was getting away from what it truly was at the beginning.
Right. Oh, I didn't know. Okay.
I'm a Tekken freak, man. My bad, man. I was hating Tekken.
Yeah, I learned this when we got to college, man. I thought I was dope. And got over there with Forrest Law and got up to his dorm room. I'm thinking, oh man, I'm finna crush this dude real quick before they can shut up. I found out that I was dealing with a fanatic. Yeah, real quick. I didn't have that juice, so to speak. I felt bad after that game too. I was like, you know what, K-Bone? I mean, I know this is my first time meeting you, but you could have shown me mercy. No mercy.
You ain't the only one. You ain't the only one I did like.
No
that,
mercy.
Okay.
I mean, I was sitting up there, all the friends up there, all these little, we was little. I was a little older, so all these little youngsters up here looking at me. I'm like, man, I'm getting my. Who did you have? You had
probably depending on what it was probably either Jen or June, probably.
Yeah, you had. I think it was June. It was June.
Yeah.
But yeah,
man. That's Tekken 2.
It was Tekken 2. Yeah. So.
Yep.
Anyway, so that was D2K. Go ahead, K-Bone. What you been gaming on, man?
Well, make sure you finish. I kind of jumped in on this Tekken.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and finish D2 if you still see there. That's what I'm talking about, man. Them K-Bones be interrupting you and throwing things off. Go ahead, man.
It's messing around with some old school stuff. Messing around with some PS1 games. I was playing I was playing the WrestleMania arcade for the PlayStation version, which is different because you can put the codes in so you can have infinite combos. And I was trying to remember all the combos for all the different wrestlers on there, and then go back to the arcade version to see if I can get those combos and pull them off during the match. But I think that's pretty much it.
Okay. All right, now K-Bone, what you been on?
Oh, now for real, you gonna do me like that?
Yeah.
Well, I've been gaming on. I haven't got anything new yet. So for me, it's been a combination of Madden, which I'm doing right now. If you're talking the podcast, a little bit of Madden, still doing some Overwatch. The new season of Overwatch just started, so I'm in gaming on that. Still going with 2K, taking Cass to school in the park. Trying to get that level up, man. Trying to get my stuff up so I can get to with that superstar. And then played a little Call of Duty. It was like the tale of two games. I played it one night and I was like top scorer repeatedly. I played it a second night and I got nuked twice. And so that game has been put in the case for a while. I put that in the case for a little minute, let that cool down some. And so I think that's it. I'm trying to get back into the division. I just can't. I can't get back into it, man. I'm a big story guy. I know I've kind of told this before, and I love story. And so once the story is gone and nothing but you're just like, I need a reason to play the game, and I don't have a reason to play it other than just, leveling up or something like that. Sports games are different. There's no story in sports. That's for the competition. But like a division, like I don't have a reason to play it, so I can't get back into it. So my boys are playing it though. I can't do it though. I don't know, but that's what I'm playing on.
Okay. Me the same thing, man. I'm still on that Ratchet and Clank. super duperly enjoying that. You hear that? Super duperly. Anyway, I'm
Not a
enjoying
word.
that,
Not a word.
man. Not a word. It really
Not a
wasn't.
word.
But I'm truly enjoying that, man. Really haven't been doing much beyond that since we talked the last time, and that's about all. That's about the only game I have played since we talked the last time. So, been on these VGAs and watching highlights from that because I'm doing that podcast we did that night. I didn't really even watch it. Then Cars to PlayStation Experience been going on. I think it's over now, but it was going on Friday. It was Saturday, Sunday, and is it still going on today?
I said to the 3rd, I believe. I think it was 3rd to the 5th. So I mean,
Yeah, so it's still actually going on. So been checking in, appearing into that. So I mean, but that's about it. Been watching a lot of movies. Don't go by what's that? With The Rock and Kevin Hart.
Central Intelligence.
Yeah, do not go by that movie, man. That's a horrible movie. Anyway,
I didn't think it was horrible.
That chemistry wasn't good together. They had horrible chemistry to me in that movie. Maybe in the future they'd do good, but they didn't hit off like he did with Ice Cube, in my opinion.
But I think the Kevin Hart thing is running thin though, because he's the same character in every movie, and I think that plays in part of not liking the movie. That it's like you can pretty much predict what he's going to do and say in every instance because it's the same person. Like you funny and all, bro, but you like I'm tired of seeing you in it. Like I don't care about stand up anymore as movies because it's the same thing. It's starting to become like Medea to me. It's the same thing. You know what to expect.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you telling the truth on that. He is kind of wearing out his little routine a little bit. He is kind of growing slightly thin. It fits when he got the right cast around him. I think being with The Rock, and I'm a big fan of The Rock, Dwayne Johnson.
True.
But I think their chemistry, their comedy, just didn't seem either The Rock's character was too over the top.
I think it was that too. I think it
was something wrong with it, man.
Way over the top with it.
Yeah, he was way too nerdy, and it just didn't. He couldn't sell the nerdiness of the character, and then being this action dude that can take out a whole group of soldiers or CIA intelligence. So it just, I don't know, it was just strange to me.
I agree.
But anyway, so that's what I've been on, man. So anyway, let's get into this, man. First of all, what did y'all think about the last podcast? What did y'all leave feeling?
Are you in front of us?
Yeah, I'm talking to y'all. Starting with D2K. I go to D2K.
Well,
he dropped out. Well, go ahead, K-Bud.
Messed up. For the last podcast. Well, I guess I'll tell myself a little bit. I'm not a avid YouTube watcher of other people's podcasts. I mean, I guess straight up honest. I didn't come into this game that way, and I'm not really that dude because I'm the kind of person I like playing games and listening to people play games. I'll talk about games. That's why I don't do Twitch and all. But I have listened to these guys. I have sat down and listened to these guys' podcasts. I mean, I'm not subscribing and listen to it on a regular basis, but I have sat down and listened to those two guys. It was not Jedi. I'm not Jedi. It was
Shadow Fox and
Shadow Fox. Mr. T. Yeah, I couldn't get the names out for some reason. My lord, my apologies, guys. But I have listened to their podcast. I know when Mr. T was back when he's doing the voice and everything. I've listened to the podcast, but it was good to get them on and actually get to hear them. You know what I'm saying? And kind of be able to hear from them, right there on the spot. Like I said, it's a different story. I think D2K brought it up. It's a different story when you can sit back and be able to write kind of what you want to say, other than being kind of put right there on the spot and being have to say everything just right there. So I mean, I thought that worked. You know what I'm saying? And then Keith was on too. I'm not forgetting about Keith. I know Keith keeps it lit down in the comment sections. But it was cool, man. But to be honest, though,
Keith down in there.
I don't know if he's down there right now.
Okay.
But it was cool. I liked it, but to be honest, I thought it was just too many people like trying to get their point out. And I know Chi kind of said it several times. Part of it is he's new, but also, you know, he couldn't really get his point out being new to the podcast and having, you know, two new personalities that's good enough to that they have their own thing going, and everybody throwing out really good points, and it's kind of hard to just find your space to put in your words. But other than that, man, I thought it was good, man. I thought we had substance. I thought we had a bunch of information, man. Those guys are definitely wells of knowledge and understanding when it comes to the industry, when it comes to the topics at hand that we were talking about. So it was good to actually hear them live talk about those things. And so I would definitely want to have them back, but we definitely want to make sure, you know what I'm saying, we keep things in order so we can give people their chance to shine. Like, you know, definitely like Heat.
Yeah, I agree. I felt like it was a good podcast. I felt like we dealt with the topic and the disagreements and the, you know, different perspectives and opinions maturely. And I did feel like I kind of dropped the ball on maintaining order, giving everybody fair opportunity to share their thoughts and opinion. It became kind of a back and forth between me and Fox and Ms. T, and it was and that was my fault. I should have been a little bit more I guess managing of the time, and that was my intentions. But you get off into it, man, you get to talking and, you know, feeling good and enjoying the conversation that I kind of lost track of. Keith didn't get a chance to say nothing, or K-Bum ain't said nothing, and our D2K ain't chiming in as much as he normally would, or, you know what I'm saying, John Shaw didn't get the chance to say what he want, because I think y'all was trying to respect me, since this was a situation where I kind of threw myself in. So I thought y'all was kind of just being a little respectful to me, allowing me to share my thoughts without chiming in, because y'all was pretty much observing it. But yeah, next time we do it, I'll be more, I guess, more managing of that. But outside of that, I thought it was cool.
Yeah, I thought it served the purpose.
Yeah,
you know, I thought it served the purpose that you set it up for. You got everybody in a room, and we talked it, and we talked it out. I'm saying, we talked about some of the things that may have been questionable, you know, and people put it on the table. And, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I think the community was better because of it.
Yeah. It inspired me to make a video that I've been hesitant to make. I think I'm going to go ahead and do it, and that's being a Christian gamer, a God-fearing gamer, man. I think I'm going to go ahead and make that video and kind of give a little bit more insight to why I approach these topics the way, and I would say me and you do.
Yeah.
And what, because I notice a lot of people, I guess, resonate with it and enjoy it. I got so many DMs and direct messages really thanking me for and thanking us for being the way we are, and even can pick up that in us. And so I thought I'd go ahead and speak to it a little bit, and, you know, because that's my aim, man, is to interject a little bit of my personality, my real personality, on my alias leveled head, and it seemed to be, you know, shining through. So but anyway, that's enough for that, man. Let's get it.
If you want to throw me on there, man, I say a little something on there.
We could definitely do that, man. You do a straight talk. I guess we can go back to a straight talk format and talk about it.
Yeah, I don't have a problem doing that, man.
Okay, cool. So until D2K jump back in here, let's go ahead and kick this off, man. So let's talk about the VGAs first. We'll deal with the PlayStation experience real quick. I mean, and since we go in the order of how everything gonna happen. So since we didn't get a chance to really focus in on the VGAs, listening to a lot of the comments coming from different places, different groups, you know, Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, different fan bases, all collectively said that the VGAs was pretty much pointless. So my question to you, and then when D2K and others jump back in here, is the VGAs a waste of time? Like, is Geoff Keighley not? Is the format just messed up? Is something wrong with it, man? It just seems like it's not well put together, and he is improving every year, but it's still proving itself not to be worth anything. You know, go ahead, give me your thoughts on that.
I want to approach this kind of a little bit different. Like, because I hear what you're saying, but as I'm getting ready to talk, like I'm hearing something totally different.
And let me say this before you go into it. All those listening, leave your thoughts in the comments, and we'll add what y'all saying in live right on the air. If you feel like it's a waste of time, let us know. Say, be candid in what your feelings are, or if you think it's worth it or needed, say the same. But go ahead, K-Bun.
Yeah. Okay. So the reason I want to say this is that there's a little thing I do when I talk to people. And I talk about what disappointment really is. What disappointment really is. And disappointment is you have two things. You have an expectation and you have reality. All right. Expectation is what you think it should be. Reality is what it actually is. And the space between your expectation and the reality, that the bigger the space, the bigger the disappointment. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm gonna talk about that from that standpoint. So people expectations, I think some people expectation what the VGA should be, I think is higher than what it really trying to be. I'll say this by saying this. When you look at the other award shows in other industries, we look at the movie industry, the TV industry, we look at like the Golden Globes and the Grammys, or the Country Music Awards, the BET Awards. Who really cares about those? To be completely honest, who really cares? The media pumps up the Golden Globes and stuff like that, but no one really cares. You as a consumer, are you excited to hear about the Academy Awards? Like, do you get amped about that, Levelhead?
No.
Do you get amped about the BET Awards? Like, oh man,
yes, I do. I be ready for it, man. I ain't gonna lie.
No, are you ready about the show you're about to see? Or are you ready about the actual award part of it?
I'm ready about the show. I'm ready to.
It's a show though, but it's not the awards part. Like, it's not like the VGA is an award show though.
I think we've been long past caring about who winning what award, but it's a show. It's the spectacle of what artist gonna perform, what person gonna host. That part I'm excited about, and then the awards is just a part of the show, So.
But the award is the show though. That's the thing that I'm trying to get at. The expectation of what we want and what it is, I think for the VGA is a little off. We want bells and whistles and a show like we do the BET Awards back when you had Michael Jackson doing moonwalking on the stage. Or what's that?
That was MTV. No, that was
Motown 25.
Grammy.
The Grammys. Okay, yeah.
Motown, and that was
That's when he first did the moonwalk.
That's when he first did it. Then he also did it at the Grammys, I think, where he did the in the circle. Anyway, let me stop, man. I'm a Michael Jackson fanatic. Go ahead.
So I'm sorry, bring that up then. I
like Michael Jackson.
With that being said, what we want it to be and what it actually is, that's a lot of disappointment in that space. And the thing is, I think the VGAs itself, I think is okay. But the fact is, we have a lot of different things that does what the VGA does. That's doing what the VGA is doing, outside of the actual giving out the awards. I mean, when you compare what E3 is compared to what the VGA is, I mean, all they're really doing is doing a couple world premieres, right? There's a couple world premieres, a couple of video segments that maybe you haven't seen before, maybe make a couple new announcements, and then it shows you awards. I mean, we get that. And the Tokyo, I'm drawing a blank to that with the Tokyo show that happened in September. We get that in Gamescom. We get that in other different places that in December, when most of the games are either coming out or not coming out for a while, that is not really that big of a deal. And like, I went back and went to see who actually won the awards, and I'm happy Overwatch won because I'm happy they're getting credit for their game because they are in a world of shooters where shooters are being bland and boring. But outside of that, you're just pretty much looking for a new premiere, a new video of Mass Effect, and then that's about it. I guess that's my kind of stance with it, and that's why I don't get upset about it being bad because I'm not expecting it to be good. You know what I'm saying? So
let me set this up for Keith and D2K because I know D2 fell out, and we just got Keith in. What's up, Keith?
What's up, man?
What's up,
Nothing
y'all?
much. I hear your baby. You got your little baby on there, huh?
Yeah, I was going. I didn't know you went live. I was going to tell you that I was going to wait till my wife got home, but I can.
Oh, you good, man.
Yeah.
No, we family men on here, you know. I got a village. He's gonna let K-Bomb tell it.
Oh yeah.
Hey, yours echo somewhere.
That's probably me.
Yeah,
That's probably me. Hold on,
but
let me
mute yourself for that.
Hello.
Okay, and so this is what we do. We're talking about if the VGAs are a waste of time, and I'm gonna throw it to Keith, and then I'm gonna go to D2K. Go ahead, Keith.
1 second. I'm getting my headphones on. Hold on.
All right.
Are the VGAs a waste of time?
Yeah.
Yes and no. They're a waste of time if you put stock into another man's opinion about what's a game of the year and this, that, and the other. But it is a good thing that, you know, gamers can come together and videos can drop like world premieres and stuff like that. So I don't mind it that way. But like I said, if you putting stock in somebody else's, this didn't win game of the year, because I heard people getting mad. Some of them, this should have won and that should have won. Like, who cares, dude? At the end of the day, it's like whatever you want to play. So yeah, I would say yes and no, but more so yes, they are a waste of time.
Okay. And all those listening, make sure you leave your opinion down in the comment section. If you feel it's a waste of time, say so. If you don't, you know, explain why. Either way. D2K, waste of time or much needed or doesn't matter?
Doesn't matter. For me, it's a waste of time because I really can care less about any of that stuff. You know, most of the time, the game reveals are things that I'm not really interested in. You know, I don't really go to the VGAs looking for that. I go to E3 looking for that, or I go to individual conferences looking for that. You know, I'm not really into the VGAs because certain publishers pay for certain. They pay for amount of space to be able to showcase whatever they're going to showcase. So it's not really a spontaneous thing. It's like, we know this part of the show is dedicated for Nintendo. This part of the show is dedicated for Ubisoft or whatever. So it just kind of feels disingenuous to me. And, you know, to go back to what K-Bomb was saying earlier, you know, I remember back when I was a kid, I would get excited for award shows like American Music Awards, the Grammys, Soul Train Awards, you know, stuff like that, because I knew I would get to see my favorite acts perform. But you don't really have that with the video game awards. It's not like you're going to see, I mean, even with, like, for instance, the Zelda demo, everybody was getting all hyped about, oh, they're going to show some more of the Zelda game. And then what they showed looked all right, but it wasn't even live. You know, they took actual gameplay, pre-recorded gameplay segments and strung them together while Bill Trent is sitting there with a Wii U gamepad in his hand. He's not playing a damn thing. So it didn't even make any sense. It was totally out of place. They should just stuck with the trailer at the beginning and left it at that.
Yeah, Nintendo need to work on that. That's one. I was gonna bring that up, but go ahead, man. They do need to work on that. But go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it just felt like a troll move. Everybody thought we were gonna see like live gameplay played at the show, and all they did was just show what they played earlier. So that was kind of stupid. And you know, it's just stuff like that. You know, I don't know. It's something for everybody. You know, to each his own. Some people like it, some people don't. I don't need it. So that's where I stand with it.
Okay. I'm piggybacking on the whole Breath of the Wild. I like how Dr. Trey said it. He said the part where Bill Trenton and the old dude should have been what they showed at the top of the show, and the actual teaser video should have been, or the trailer footage should have been shown during the event. Like, I think they should have swapped the placement of each video. Cause it was something just broken and detached with Bill Trenton and the treehouse and the actual what was going on. And I didn't know they wasn't actually playing it until you just said it. But now that you say it, it makes sense. They were not playing this game. They were watching it being played. You know. And
to add even to more to that, I was watching a video by Super Metal Dave.
Yeah.
And he broke it down to molecules, basically. He was saying that they pretty much filmed that whole segment at 24 frames per second, which
that's why
which made the frame rate look even worse than it actually does. So a lot of people are saying, like, man, the frame rate looks terrible in some spots in this game. But he basically showed that, well, the reason why is that they filmed the whole segment at 24 frames per second. So the frame rate dips that you saw will look even worse, you know, when the whole segment is being broadcast to you at a lower frame rate than 30 frames per second. So they just didn't, they didn't do their presentation well at all, I don't think.
Nah. So I'm gonna go to, I'm gonna say waste of time, but it's not because I'm not excited about the VGAs when it's about to come. It's just, it seems like to me, the messaging and what they present and what they do during the show is different. You hyping us up for all these premieres and everything like that. So you going in thinking you're finna see an abundance of premieres, this and premiere that, and we're gonna get to see Zelda, we're gonna get to see this, and we got stuff you ain't never seen before. And you get to the show and it's almost, I hate to say this, us color folks are really know about this. We start, it seems like the best way to put it is like when a black event is supposed to be starting and you sitting around waiting for it to start. And it's on CPT time. It feels like that, even though it's starting when it's supposed to start, it has that feeling like it's just not quite really professionally put together right. It's like you would think on this stage that Geoff Keighley would have this after this is third or fourth year doing it. You would think he'd have a lot of these kinks ironed out, and it's like, dude, you bringing some of the same problems that was in last year's and the year before to this year's, and it's like, dude, it's a bad product. I did like Killer Mike. I ain't gonna lie, I thought Killer Mike being there was dope, but overall, I felt like Geoff Keighley is not. He either need a council of advisors with him to help him. I don't know if he don't have this, but maybe he need to get some new ones, more creatives on how they approach it to make it a little bit more streamlined and a little bit more entertaining. But outside of that, right now in its current state, I would say it's a waste of time. But I do look forward to it each year. So with anybody else, Keith, you got anything you want to add to that?
I mean, what could they do to improve it though?
Well, one thing they can do is they can add more I guess substance to it. Like, to me, some of these awards are just pointless awards. Like, it don't feel like you're really achieving nothing. It don't feel like the award really means anything. Maybe the focus should be on game of the year, and that's it. Maybe all these other awards, they can kind of shrink them down a little bit. Like, it's too many awards for one. The award he gave to Geoff Keighley. I mean, we can go into this now. The award he gave to Hideo Kojima, whatever his name is. Like, really? Like, what has Kojima done that deserved this award? like in the last, I say, few years, what has he done? I would say. I don't know if I'm wrong to say that or not, but I just felt like it was a forced award. And like D2K said before we got to talking, everybody has moved on from what Konami did to that man last year. He's got his own studio. He ain't in that situation no more. Was it a huge situation? Not really. Did it really affect the gaming industry? No, it did not. It was inconvenient. Yes, it was stupid of them to do that to him. But at the end of the day, is it really necessary to make such a big deal out of it? No. But this dude on stage in this bro-mance seeming like he about to cry because Kojima couldn't come to the awards last year. Like, dude, this man wasn't in prison. He wasn't at gunpoint being tied down. He wasn't in a concentration camp. He was under contractual agreement that he couldn't show up. That's it. Like, it's not acting like this dude was a refugee. I mean, it was a prisoner of war, man. It ain't that. It's like this dude was stuck in some prison under Konami, getting fed water and half-cut hot dogs or something, man. Come on, man. This dude It ain't nothing happened to that man for not. And the games he been making ain't necessarily been that great in a long time. So I think there's two sides to that story. We only want to tell Kojima's side. We don't even look at how much money that man's used up of them peoples on these games he was making. But that's my take, but I don't know. It just seems like he can be more attentive to the entertainment, the writing, the scripting, the people he's choosing to bring up on stage, the people he's choosing to highlight. It's just like, it just ain't entertaining, man. It really ain't. Go ahead. Who want to talk?
I agree.
Keith?
I ain't really have much to say to it, but yeah, I agree. It's really not. A lot of times when I'm watching it, I'm not. I'm just waiting on a trailer that I'm looking forward to. And
Right.
that's about it.
And that's what he pumped. That's what he promoted as the reward aspect is not really the big promoted aspect. It's the premieres that that's what's drawing you in, is the illusion of seeing something in a premiere. You come in there to see these great premieres, and they are not great. Oftentimes, there are videos that you've seen, like K-Bum said, at other shows from E3 on to this point. And it's like, dude, if you ain't showing us nothing we haven't seen yet. A 30-second clip of a game that we already knew was coming ain't a world premiere, in my opinion. Like Zelda. That wasn't a world premiere. It was just another part of Zelda we haven't seen. The world premiere happened at E3.
Right.
I think level that goes along with what I was saying with the expectation and reality. That's part of the main frustration that people have with the VGA. I mean, I don't really have any frustration with it, like I said, because my expectation of it is low. So I don't really have.
You ain't looking for nothing. Yeah, I mean,
if you show me something, like, oh, that was cool, and that's about it. Like, it's very passable. The VGAs is very passable to not have watched it at all and not have lost anything. I'm missing.
That's why I said, is it a waste of time? Because none of us really are anticipate got any high expectations for it. Like I said, I think we stopped for the Zelda part, and I couldn't tell you what happened from that point on. And I got it on. I'm sitting here while we was doing the podcast. I'm watching it, and I just totally blanked it out. I forgot that it was on. So I wouldn't have did that with the PlayStation experience. I wouldn't have did that. I wouldn't have been talking half the podcast if what we saw Saturday was at the VGAs. So yeah, I think it's a waste of time, man, because until Geoff Keighley gets his scripting, his direction, I think he needs to stay off the mic. Mm-hmm. He needs to get some other people up there, because to me, he just does not connect. I don't know what it is with him. That's just not his setting. You need lively, energetic people who are spontaneous, that can keep the audience attention. Geoff Keighley is a type of sit-down interviewer type. He don't need to be host or emceeing the whole show, because it takes on his persona. His energy is projected through the whole show, and it's stale. He has a stale energy.
It kind of reminds me of how with the American Music Awards, you had Dick Clark. That was like he was there, but it was other people that he had like a guest MC for each episode of it. So that might be what he needs to do, is to bring in a guest MC for every show. Maybe like somebody from the entertainment world comes in, they can do the whole show while he oversees the whole thing. He might say something here or there, but he's not controlling the flow of the show. Somebody that has more energy, somebody that can get the crowd hype. That might be what they need to do. Something like that.
Yeah, I agree with that. Anybody else? Anybody got anything else they want to add to this? We can move on.
I'm good.
Okay, now we got this new segment, and I'm gonna do this as segments. I'm not gonna do it all at one time. We got this segment that I'm adding to the show called, and we won't do this all the time, but every now and again we do it, called Name That Tune. And what it is this time it's going to be video games. I'm gonna try to stick in video games, but I'm gonna play a tune or some music from a particular game, and I want y'all to name what game it is from. even if you could break down to even the stage that it's from, that's what I want to do. So I'm going to play our first one, and I want each person, if they can name the tune. Now, this one should be pretty familiar. Some of y'all should catch it right off top, in my opinion. But let's go. Can y'all hear it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love this music right here, man. I'm gonna let it play for like another 5 seconds. So I want y'all to guess what it is. Okay. D2K, what is that, man?
I have no idea.
Whoa.
Oh my!
What? Really?
What the fuck? Oh my god! You don't know what that? Oh, D2K, you let me down, bro. Okay.
If
Okay.
he don't know, I know. I don't know.
Okay, Keith, what is that from, man?
Man, it's obviously Mega Man.
Okay.
I don't know if it's Mega Man 2, but I know it's
You hot. That's right. Mega Man 2.
definitely like a Bubble Man stage, maybe.
No.
Really?
No, it's not Bubble, man. Oh, you deserve one of these right here, man.
Slap yourself.
Okay. K-Bob. So we know it's Mega Man. We know it's Mega Man 2. So you got to name the stage. You got to get the stage, man. You supposed to know this, dude.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Man, I played 2 Mega Mans before.
Which ones, man?
The ones back in the day.
Yeah, so you played, everybody's played Mega Man 2.
Man, I don't remember the music. I played it, but I don't remember the music.
Dude, how you not know what this is? Heat Man? This is Heat Man stage.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God, I thought y'all gonna get that. Let's see if the people down in here got it. We'll see. So if y'all guess what that was, let me know down in the comment section. That's our first name, that tune. My podcast really let me down right now. People didn't even know what game.
I didn't care for a Mega Man 2. I never played that game in depth. I only played it sparingly, so I wouldn't recognize that song. You know, if this was from Mega Man 3, I know every single second of that.
I almost chose Mega Man 3's intro music, but I was like, man, I don't think people will be familiar enough with this.
You play like 2 notes. I'm like, yep, I know what that is.
Man, I should have went with that one. There's one on here that I don't even know. I picked it, but I don't know it for real. If I didn't know which one, if I wasn't the one who found it, I wouldn't have knew. If you asked me what it was, I wouldn't have knew. But I know this one any day of the week. Anyway, let's go to the next topic. The bro-mance. Let's talk about that.
Do we have to?
Did Geoff Keighley go over? Yeah, I want this for a second, man, because I felt like this is another reason why the VGAs needs work. Did Geoff Keighley go overboard with the whole Kojima award? Keith.
I'm gonna be real with you. I didn't really watch it. So I don't know.
Okay. K-Bomb. Did he go overboard with the whole award for Kojima?
I mean, I wasn't really, upset at the award. Maybe the whole emotion behind the whole ordeal. But I don't know. Go to D2K and come back to me, and I'll give you some better thoughts on that, because I'm still up in the air with this one, man.
Okay, D2K.
I think so. I think, like we just got through saying earlier, is that, still harping on, milk that was spilled on the floor and been mopped up. So it's still like, we get it. Okay, that's your boy. You don't have to give him an award to prove that, unless he's insecure about his relationship with Kojima, and he did that to try to reaffirm that insecurity. Maybe that's what that's all about. But we don't need to see that. That's a personal problem.
I don't know. It was almost like it was because anyway, I said what I had. I just wanted to get y'all thoughts.
He's really my friend. Look, I made an award for him and everything.
Okay, let me say it like this. is Hideo Kojima overrated? Is that a better way to say it? Because that's what I felt why this whole thing was overboard, because I feel like he's overrated.
I will say no passionately. I will passionately say no. No. Passionately say no.
Okay, go ahead.
Because I'll explain. If you look at the genre that he pretty much, I don't want to say created, because I don't know if he created it, but he mastered that genre, the genre of the stealth action. I mean, he mastered that genre, and that no one has truly produced a stealth action game as well as the Metal Gear Solid series. I will argue about the Tom Clancy game. What was that game called?
Splinter Cell.
Splinter Cell. I will argue that up and down. That game did not have the power, the lasting power that American Solid did. And you have to understand that even within his games, were very, very, very different than anything that was out there at the point in time. And he did things very revolutionary in all of his products. Even one of the games that many people don't remember, but was probably one of the best. I don't know what I call it, a mech shooter, was Zone of Enders. I don't know too many people remember that game. That game was amazing. And it did things during this time that no one had done. And even the fact that even coming up with American Solids and still putting out really, really good games even now. And he's been doing this for a long, long time. And I mean, he was one of the guys that revolutionized the game, especially mastered his own genre. So yes, I definitely think he's an icon. I would definitely stand on that and agree. And I think the award, which I don't get too much into it, I think he deserves it because he is an industry icon. I mean, I can't name, I don't know if I'm being biased here, but I cannot name any other stealth shooter that was as good as Metal Gear Solid, as from the beginning of the series until now. And so I would say yes, he deserves it, and no, he's not overrated.
Okay. Anybody else want to? How many people know? Oh, go ahead, D2K.
I would say that he's overstated, but not overrated.
That's a good way to put it.
Just to say somebody is overrated basically means that they're not as good as what their reputation perceives of them. And he definitely exemplifies what his reputation is. I mean, everybody perceives him as to be a great developer, and he is that. So I don't think that he qualifies as overrated. I do think that people lean on him a little bit too hard and give him undue credit when it's not called for. And I think there's other people out there, there's other developers out there that, while may not be as good as him or seasoned as him or experienced as him, can still give us experiences in the same genre that are just as good. So I think that from my standpoint, I think he's overstated, but not overrated.
Let me ask this. How many games outside of the Splinter Cell franchise has Kojima been responsible for?
You mean
Metal Gear Solid?
Yeah, that's a Splinter Cell.
If you're gonna say it, at least say it right.
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid. My bad.
You're gonna diss my stuff like that.
Like, what other franchises have he made? Is he responsible for what's that scary game?
You talking about Castlevania?
No.
Silent Hill.
Silent Hill. The new Silent Hill.
For that?
I thought he was working on that, wasn't he?
He was, but he got canned.
Yeah.
He was working on that with Guillermo del Toro, I think.
Yeah, it got canned.
But was he responsible for the other entries into that series? Or
no.
Okay.
No.
So the only game we know him for is Metal Gear Solid.
And
Metal Gear Solid, Snatcher, Police Knots, Zone of Enders.
Zone of Enders.
Zone of Enders. I gotta look that one. I know that one, but I got
and Castlevania Lords of Shadow. He was director of that one.
What system was that on?
That was the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and PC.
So most of his games that we know him for is PlayStation 3 and up.
No.
I'm just asking. I don't know because I don't follow Kojima.
You gotta go. He was back on the MSX. MSX2.
MSX2 was the first console he developed for.
Yeah.
X2. Okay. Y'all gonna have to bring me up to speed, dude.
Metal Gear's first release was July the 7th, 1987.
Yep.
But okay, so he's good at making Metal Gear Solid games, right?
He's good at making stealth games. You can put it around Metal Gear Solid all you want, but he's great at making stealth action games. The title is Metal Gear Solid. It's not just trying to box him in.
Okay, yeah, I see it now. Okay, I've seen this game. All right, so he's good at stealth, the stealth genre,
and he did action with Zelda Vendors, which I think is highly underrated.
Is that a
highly
RPG?
underrated? Nope, it's a mech game, but it's not like Armored Core. It was based off like a Japanese. It's like a Japanese anime style. But you're in like this mech robot, and you're fighting these mech battles, and it's like the battle is probably some of the best. And actually, the fighting style, I remember when it came out, I was hoping that that Dragon Ball Z would use its air battles, the way that they battle in the air, because it was way past its time, the way it was made, and the way that the action felt was way better than anything that was going on at that point in time.
And they actually did have some series based off of the games as well. I mean, I think I remember seeing the TV show before I actually saw the game. So
Okay.
I know that sounded familiar. It didn't sound familiar because of the game. It sounded familiar for something else. But there were some cartoons in the 2001, I believe, for the game. So
yeah.
The reason I asked that question is because I would go with D2K's framing of it. He's overstated, not necessarily overrated. Because sometimes I feel like, and I'm only using this dude as a fellow developer. Sometimes, and I don't know if I'm fair to say this because I feel like people are gonna be like, oh, that's but it's almost like they praise him like he's on like a Miyamoto or somebody. And I can see why Miyamoto deserves his accolade and his praise and his criticisms too, because I've been criticizing him as of late. But what he has done for gaming, this Geoff Keighley's body language, it would make sense if you're talking about a person that has done that much. But Hideo Kojima hasn't done enough to worthy almost a tear jerker of a acceptance, not as an acceptance speech, but I guess praise for what he has done in the industry. I don't know. It just
if you would have asked me to present that award before the last call of Metal Gear Solid, I probably would have dropped the tier for him.
Oh, stop it, K-Ball.
I'm telling you, man, that some of the most fun I've ever had playing video games was playing the Metal Gear Solid series. Hands down, no ifs, ands, buts about it. No hands down, ifs, ands, buts about it. The most fun and the most creative I've ever seen video games was Metal Gear Solid. The boss battles for the games was beyond any like. They still do boss battles. I know we had an argument a while ago that this industry doesn't really do boss battles anymore, and they don't do it well. And I know, well, you had a conversation about that. You talking about how you like boss battles better.
Yeah, I love boss battles. If it ain't got boss battles in it, I don't want to play it much. If I put it in a boss battle.
Right, and his boss battles against on his games, like they were some of the best. Like the one guy, the end where you could beat him. It was a really, really old guy, really old guy. It was Metal Gear Solid 3, and you can actually beat him by when you get to the boss battle, turn your system off and wait 2 weeks, and he would just die because he was that old. Like he put that in the game.
Yeah, I heard about that. My boy D Rick, I got a friend named D Rick, was a big Metal Gear Solid fan, and he told me about that. And it was one boss where you put the controller on the ground and he would cause it to do certain things or something like that.
No, that's Metal Gear Solid 1. It was
okay.
What it was is, and it was genius. It was the Mantis, something like that.
Yeah.
Psycho Mantis. It was so cool. Like I said, never been done before. So what's so cool was like he knew all your moves. So I'm fighting the guy. I remember I'm fighting the guy, and I like, how can I beat him? And then you talk through the conversation, you find out one of the guys give you a suggestion. It says he knows all your moves. How will you put your controller into the second port? And you take your controller, you put in the second port, and he's like, I don't know what you're doing. I can't see your moves anymore.
That's
I mean,
slick.
come on, man.
That's slick.
Okay. So
Come
still, wait a minute. Hold up. And that's why I said
man.
I agree.
Amazing.
That's why I said I agree with V2K's framing of it, because he said overstated, not overrated. What you're saying is Kojima made a great game and is responsible for a great
genre.
Wait a minute.
And a genre.
Yeah, a great game and responsible for a great series in a genre.
No, not a great. So you're saying it wrong. You're saying it wrong.
Okay, say it right.
Because GTA is not a great game. GTA defined open world games.
That's what I was going to say.
What I was going to say is the same thing for Metal Gear Solid. It defined stealth action games.
And in that vein, he is like Miyamoto. Just like Miyamoto defined what platform games are today, even though there were platform games before. He made platform games what they are today with the Mario series, and I think that same thing goes for Kojima in terms of the action adventure stealth series. He defined, he created the model for which everybody else follows.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Thank you, DJ.
I was just going to say, the reason I was using Miyamoto is you have so many characters. Like, okay, you got Mario, you got Metroid, you got Zelda, you got so many different characters that span so many different types of games. They are all, like Zelda ain't really a platformer, but it defined for a long time action adventure. It defined it, and still to this day kind of help defines it. The path of it. Mario is the quintessential platformer. Then you got Metroid. It's the quintessential. I would say search. What would you put, man? What is Metroid?
So that's the thing about it, though. You can't really put those games into categories because they don't fit anywhere. Like Zelda is its own thing. Metroid is its own thing.
But
Star Fox is. I mean, you can call it a space shooter, but it's
what I'm saying?
But it's too much gray area with a lot of franchises that Miyamoto created outside of the Mario and the Donkey Kong and the Kirby.
Yeah, there's some gray area. I agree with you. There is some gray area, but you can classify a genre with Mario platformer, with Zelda action adventure, with Metroid Prime was more of a search exploration type game, and it was the defining of its genre for a long time, and still to this day these games define the genre. Whereas the only game we can say, the only franchise and character we can say is Hideo Kojima is Metal Gear Solid. And the other we can name other type, but they didn't define anything. So I feel like that's why I said I feel like he.
But I still think that's
overstated.
But I'll say no because it is. But yes, I did love the games. But I'll say no because it is. You are comparing to someone who has ownership and controlling interest in multitude of games. But there's not too many people like that though. I think you're comparing them. But the thing is, when you compare him among his peer, because I don't think Miyamoto is his peers when it comes to that.
Miyamoto wouldn't be a peer.
Yeah. But you compare him among his peers and how long he's able to produce a Metal Gear Solid and continue to produce one of the top games during this release and continue to reinvent itself every time, because every Metal Gear Solid has reinvented itself every time. I
guess what I'm saying is I'm not really faulting Hideo Kojima. I'm talking about Geoff Keighley's presentation for him.
I agree.
I don't see him. This is what I say. I don't see him. If there was switching, it was Miyamoto. I do not see Geoff Keighley doing it as passionately, as tear-jerkingly as he did. I'm like, what is
of course not, because that's not his boy.
Right,
no?
So it was
that's the reason why that happened.
It was a little putting on, in my opinion. Yeah. Like that's a little too much. That's why I said it was a little too much.
I mean, he might have his own, reservations about Konami. He still might be trying to, stick it to him on the side. But like you said earlier, I mean, get over it, move on.
Right. So let's move on from this. Let's keep on. Keith, you got anything you want to add to that, man? Or are you pretty much done with this topic? You muted if you're trying to say something.
Yeah, I was muted. My bad. I'm good.
Okay, so let's move on, man. Let's go to this. We might should do another name that tune.
Also, man, like I said, if y'all haven't played Zone of Enders, I think it may still be good now. I don't know. It's been a long time since I played it. But the battles for Zone of Enders was dope. If you get a chance to maybe run across, I think PlayStation 1, I think, and PS2, I think came out too. But yeah, play that game, man. It was I have no idea why it had a cult following, not a bigger following than what it did. Because it was definitely a really good game.
So before we go to the PlayStation experience, we're gonna do another name that tune. Y'all ready?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. On the count of 3, 2, 1.
Easy.
No, hold up. Don't say it yet.
Easy.
So I'm gonna end with you, D2K, since y'all feel like you got it. Let it play for another 10 seconds.
Nope, that's not it.
I think that's enough. What you think?
Yeah, that's enough.
Okay. Let's start with K-Bomb. What is that, man?
Man, I don't live off nostalgia. I was gonna say I know it's not, but the only thing it reminds me of is that freaking bike level Punch Out when you're riding on the bike running around New York. That's the only thing. I know it's not that. That's the only thing I can think of. I'm dumb.
Oh my God!
I know it's wrong.
Slap you.
No. I don't live in nostalgia.
Okay, Keith, what is it, man?
Oh man, I really don't know, but I'm gonna take a guess. For some reason, when it first came on, I wanted to say Castlevania, but then it started speeding up, and I was like, nah, that ain't really Castlevania. Can I say Mega Man again? It just sounds like it just got that sound.
Nah, it ain't Mega Man. Okay, hopefully D2K know because he said he got it. What is it, D2?
Rad Racer.
Yep, right on the money. That's Rad
Racer.
Yeah, I don't even think I played that.
I was about to say, I don't think I played that.
Rad Racer. I want to see if they. Man, I wish I was on the other side because I'd probably be getting this stuff wrong too. Anyway, yeah, that's Rad Racer.
Well, what is Rad Racer? You gotta clue me on that. Man.
It's a racing
game. It's one of the first racing games.
It was a racing game. It was developed by Square Enix for the NES. Is basically you could choose between like a Corvette or like an F1 car, and you just drive until you have to meet checkpoints, and if you don't, then your car slows down and you lose. And if you go to a constant speed without crashing anybody or going off the track, then you make it all the way to the end and it goes to the next board.
I played this before.
Yeah.
I figured you had played it. I
played it. Looked like cruising.
Yeah. It's pretty much what cruising was modeled off of.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was Rad Racer. So we got Mega Man 2 down with Heat Man Stage. We got Rad Racer down on the NES. I'm all NES games. So let's go ahead and go to this PlayStation experience conversation. So I'm gonna start with Keith, and then I'm gonna jump to D2K, and then come to K-Bun because I know he gonna share a lot. And then I give my thoughts. What did you think about the PlayStation experience, man?
All right, I didn't watch it from beginning to end. I went back and watched videos and stuff that I actually cared about. If you was on the fence about getting a PlayStation 4, get off that fence, go get you a PlayStation 4, because I'm getting off that fence. Man, Sony, oh my God, they brought it. I mean, I don't care if those games don't come out to 2 or 3 years later or whatever. At least there's something there and you know it's coming. The Last of Us 2, I mean, I love the first one. Last of Us 2 is coming out. That DLC, well, actually, I don't think it's DLC. That Uncharted, I think that's a standalone title.
Yeah, I think
it's Lost Legacy.
Right. And then you got Horizon Zero Dawn and all these other games coming out. Sony they're very consistent on bringing new experiences that are exclusive. I can honestly say, being a Nintendo guy, if a person only owned a PlayStation, I think they'd be good. Like I said, I think Sony brought it, so that's what I think they did a really
Man,
good
say
job.
that again.
I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest. What do you say? You want me to say that again?
Say it again. Almost all the slack I get. Good lord.
Oh, if you only own a Sony system, I think you'd be good. That's
Oh.
my,
That's cool. That's cool, level. That's cool.
Okay. Let's go with D2K.
Well, I didn't watch it either. I had stuff to do, so I just kind of watched videos of like Keith just said, of stuff that I was interested in, and the thing that I saw. I mean, I didn't need to be convinced to Horizon Zero Dawn and Last of Us 2 and all that type of stuff. And those are just givens. You know, when I get to play PS4, those are games I'm just going to get. You know, the Crash Bandicoot, man, dude. Oh
That
man,
Crash Bandicoot though.
woo! I mean, they showed like the comparisons to the original and how it looks now. Man, it doesn't look as good as Ratchet and Clank, but it looks really good. I mean, it looks like really, really good.
Looks
And
clean.
very clean. I mean, they did an excellent job redesigning that game. That's going to be a hit for people who enjoyed it and people who never played Crash before. It's like, hey, I missed out on something. And the game that I was most interested in is not even exclusive. It's a multiplat. It's Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
Yes, sir.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
Dude,
Woo!
y'all still ain't named the one thing that they showed that had me about to cry. But go ahead. I'm see if y'all gonna go there.
Yeah, that I was done after that. When I saw that, I mean, because I knew it was coming, because I heard rumors that they was coming out with Marvel vs. Capcom 4, and then they showed the trailer. They showed I think it was Ryu and Mega Man against Captain
Mega Man.
Marvel.
Yeah, Mega Man X.
Mega Man and Captain Marvel and Iron Man. And
Right.
I saw the CG trailer, then today I actually watched the gameplay footage of it. And the game, I don't know if they're gonna have 3 characters on screen at one time later, but right now it seems like it's 2 versus 2. It doesn't seem as chaotic as Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. It seems like they simplified it more. And they're going back to using the Infinity Stones, like in Marvel Superheroes. If you remember that fighting game from the 90s, you actually can use the Infinity Gems for specific power-ups in the fight. So, to me, it looks like it's going to be lit. I think so.
Okay, K-Ball.
I guess my feelings are actually a little bit more toned down. But I thought they did a great job of showing some stuff that I wasn't expecting. To me, that got me interested into it. Actually, I sat down and watched it, but that got me interested because it showed me games that I did not expect, and it didn't really show me a bunch of stuff that I was really expecting. So I was kind of chancing at the end that they would show God of War, because that's what I was hoping to see that again. But when they actually showed Last of Us 2, I was like, okay. I see you, Sony, saving some punches for the end of the year. I like that. But just like he said, yeah, some of these games may not come out next year, because I don't know if Lost Legacy for Uncharted is going to come out next year, or even The Last of Us 2. But I wouldn't be surprised if Last of Us 2 comes out next year, especially with what they've done with the engine so far. But from what they've shown, I thought they did a pretty good job. And even with some of the remakes that they're showing, they're giving people back that nostalgia, which, like I said, I'm not really a nostalgia guy, so I wasn't really like amped about having Parappa the Rapper back and Loco Moco back, and I forgot the other one name, and Crash Bandicoot. So I'm not really like crazy amped about that, because I don't really care too much about playing games I've already played. But for what they did do, I care more about them releasing remakes of games that were 10, 20 years ago. They're releasing a game that came out 4 years ago or 3 years ago. That makes way more sense than just playing a game I can go pick up right now. So what they did show, I love the first. I think the way they opened it up, I thought was awesome with the Lost Legacy. The Marvel game was a surprise to me. I didn't think that was coming. I like that. And I don't know if you guys catch a glimpse. I think they're trying to do more of the movie version of the Marvel characters. That's what I'm hearing. They may try to make it more the movie version. People are more aware of those people.
Yeah, apparently I heard that the X-Men are not gonna be in it.
Yeah, X-Men not gonna be in it.
They ain't gonna have Wolverine in it.
They're not trying to get no love to X-Men. They're waiting for Fox to go ahead and get it over.
There's a licensing issue,
Oh,
I believe.
man.
I was shocked that this even happened because I heard that there were some problems with Capcom not renewing the license with Marvel or Disney or whatever, and it was going to be it was very complicated for a while. So maybe this is part of it, the fact that we don't see any X-Men characters because Fox has the license to those characters.
But I thought that was only for movies, though.
No, it's for anything.
So basically, since they pay for the rights, it's like they own them characters.
Well, I mean, well, it's not they own them. It's that if you make those games, then Fox has to get paid.
Right.
That's on the caveat. If they want to pay them the money, then Fox is like, oh, go ahead. Just give us the money.
So anything outside of the setting of a comic book, you got to get permission from both actual Marvel comics and Fox, or
Full Effect Gaming, which is John, is saying it's only for the movies. So maybe I'm wrong on that.
Yeah, I thought it was only for the movies.
But there was some goofiness worse going on behind the scenes with the characters. I don't know what it was about. That's why I was surprised that it actually happened. We'll see.
Okay, yeah.
He said Disney is just doing away with X-Men because they don't make money on the movies. Oh, okay. So yeah, Shaw shared that with me. So since Disney doesn't have the rights to make the X-Men's movies, they're not allowing any other characters to be in any other thing. So it ain't really got nothing to do with Fox. It's Disney kind of trying to cut out all those characters that Fox has.
Well, it has to do with Fox. It's just that's the reason why they can't.
I mean, I'm saying Fox ain't the reason why X-Men is not in the game.
That's right. It's not.
They're not blocking it. Yeah, they're not blocking it. But Marvel,
they don't want them to come up off of the success of X-Men characters in their game.
Right. They don't want to popularize the X-Men characters in hopes probably get them back, and probably that Fox will sell them back. So there's probably
Fox is not selling them back, man. They've had many of opportunities to do it, but that's a different conversation for a different time.
Okay. Well, we got Shaw in the comment section, so wherever he chime in, we'll try to add him and speak on his behalf. But anyway, me personally, I thought the PlayStation experience, first of all, started off right. First of all, I did not know that was Uncharted. You could not have told me that this was in the Uncharted universe. I thought this was like going to be. I thought it was Lara Croft. I was like, this must be a new Tomb Raider, or this might be. I didn't know what it was. It just did not feel like anything that was related to Uncharted. So I was impressed. I liked how they introduced. Is it Chloe, or how you is that her name?
It's Chloe.
Chloe and what's the girl from 4? I can't think of her name. The black girl.
What are you talking about?
I can't think of her name right now. So they introduced them, both of them, as the new, where the storyline is based around them. So I thought that was great. I even thought the fat face, puffy cheek, fuzzy hair dude that normally comes on the stage and talks, that can't talk without coughing every other 5 seconds. I thought he was all right. Dude, what was up with them, man? And the whole getting choked up, like two presenters got choked up, like the exact same way, like totally lost their breath. But my only
it was the big dude, both of the big dudes, the other big dude.
My only critique, well, I have two now that you brought up the second big dude. My only critique is they could have trimmed the fat and made this one really, really awesome hour and 20, 30 minutes. Had they trimmed like the rapper parappa and all that stuff, like that could have been saved for the more of the sit down interviews, almost treehouse feel. I don't know what they call theirs, but I use the treehouse because that's what Nintendo calls theirs. But that little sit down interviewing the developers and get into like deep into the development and backdrop and all that stuff. I felt they could save some of those titles for that setting, because you got 3 days to talk about this stuff, so you didn't have to cram all that into the presentation. But for the most part, like Keith said, PlayStation is basically proving is starting to really prove its weight, man. It's like, dude, if this stuff comes out next year, there's no point in not buying a PlayStation 4. Put it like that, in my opinion. The second critique is trying to revive the Vita. That was the wackest, disingenuous, no real for real belief. They didn't believe it. They don't believe in this system.
It's on the Vita. That's what he said.
It is. I was like, dude, if you don't put that Vita down and let that system die to death that it died about 4 years ago.
It's on the Vita. That's what he said.
Like, I was like, dude, you can't be serious that you just said this is on the Vita. The crowd looked at him like, are you serious? That's like trying to give us some day-old chicken nuggets from McDonald's, man. We don't want that stuff, man. Get that stuff out of here.
Or even an hour, or even once they get cold.
So, outside of that, I thought it was pretty good.
It's
man.
on the Vita.
Go ahead, Keith. You got what else you got to say on it? I thought it was good. Well, let's break down like things that stood out to us. Starting with Keith.
I forgot to mention. How do you say this? Neon, or whatever.
How do you pronounce it? You talking about it's like the Japanese game?
Yeah.
Neo.
Is it Neo?
Neo?
I think it is a Neo or something like that.
Yeah, Neo. I think it's Neo.
That to me, that game looked really good.
Man, did you play the demo? They had like you could have played the demo a while back. It is good. It's really good.
I didn't. That was one of the games I meant to forgot to mention earlier. I'm looking at the list now, but I forgot to mention that earlier. That game looked really good. But what were we doing? We're breaking down what?
Like what stood out? What games or parts stood out to you in the PlayStation Experience presentation part?
Like you said, that Uncharted, man. I was like, is this a what you call them? What they used to call them, a full motion video? CGI. Like this game, that looked really good. Like I didn't think that was Tomb Raider at all. I didn't think Tomb Raider ever looked that good. But yeah, that Uncharted looked.
That Uncharted though.
That looked really good. And then The Last of Us, of course, that's what's making me want to just get up and go buy one right now, even though it ain't out.
I gotta finish The Last of Us, the first one. I'm
really.
I still haven't finished it. So I thought the girl died. So she.
Hey man, don't give out spoilers, man.
Well, it's spoiled. If you watch the PlayStation Experience, you saw that it's spoiled and she here now. So it ain't what I thought. So I gotta play through.
I haven't finished it either, man.
Anyway,
I do have to
really.
say, yeah, man. It's just I don't know, man. There's something about that game that I have not been able to finish it. I don't know what it is, but I just can't finish that game. I've started it on the PS3. I couldn't finish it. I restarted it on the PS4 with the little remastered version. I still couldn't finish it. I don't.
That's how I was with Grand Theft Auto 5. I had it on PS3, got it on PC, and I can't finish that game for some reason.
Yeah,
I'm halfway through it. I'm right where you meet the black guy and the little kid, and we're about to go and try to do something. And I got to start back up. I just been on kind of paused on it for a second. But anyway, D2K, what names of games? I know we kind of talked about this, but isolate some games that really stood out to you in the presentation.
Well, I already did that. So
Okay.
That's all I really saw is, I didn't see anything else. So the games that I mentioned, those are games that stood out to me.
Okay. K-Bomb, is any other games that you haven't mentioned that stood out? Oh, yeah. I got one more that I want to bring up. Go ahead. Any other games that you want to bring up?
What about that Knack 2 though, bruh?
No. Where's the hold on.
Hold up. Wait. Hold up. Pause it, man. Pause. Hey, Bob, we don't need you to stay focused, man.
Hey.
Stay focused. First of all, I'm not gonna lie though. When they showed the two players, I did kind of get excited for a second. But even in that, stay focused, K.
Hey,
Okay?
you know what I said when I saw two players? I said, so now two people cannot have fun. Oh man! Oh, that was so funny.
Okay. No one mentioned Akuma in Street Fighters.
I might play Street Fighter, man.
Yeah.
Oh. Don't do me like that.
I was hyped to see Akuma in Tekken 7, but I wasn't hyped to see him in Street Fighter because he was going to be there eventually. So
I didn't think he was going to be there since they had him in Tekken. So when I saw him, I liked the design. I like he got new moves. Like his moves are really different, not necessarily totally different, but like the art animation of his moves is different from Ken and Ryu. Like I like how they're separating. There go Jedi Knight. I like how they're separating Ken. How they separated Ken and Ryu's moves. Now they separating the Kumas from even though they fight similarly.
There's something that bothers me about the relationship between Ken and Ryu. Ken's supposed to be rich, right?
Yeah.
And him and Ryu supposed to be boys, right?
Yeah.
They've been friends for like their whole life. They trained together since they was little kids, right?
Right.
Now you see Ken got this brand new costume for Street Fighter V. It's a slick costume, brand new design. And he got Ryu sitting up there with the same raggedy gi that he done had on since 1991. It's dirty. He stank. His hair ain't combed. He got a beard. I'm like, dude, take him to the barbershop. Get him faded up. Get him some new clothes. That's supposed to be your boy. What is up with that?
But Ryu must be turning it down, man, because he lives on the go. He lives for the fight, man. He all about improving on technique and fighting. Ken up in the match. He need to
improve on his hygiene or something. Like come on, dude. His suit ain't brown. It's dirty.
Let me get this dude up here, man. Jedi Knight, man. What's up, bro? Jedi, can you hear us?
Can't hear him.
Your mic might not be functioning in any right. Okay, well, we let him get his mic together and we get him up in here. But yeah, man, don't do Ryu like that, D2K, man.
I ain't doing Ryu like nothing. Can't do Ryu like that.
Look dirty little dude. Look dusty little dude.
Akuma is a demon. He don't wash. He do look cleaner than Ryu though, don't he?
He look cleaner than Ryu. At least he take a bath and wash his stuff. Might be all raggedy, tattered, but at least it's clean. Shoot. Like get you some game or some Tide or something. Get the work.
Get some game.
But yeah, man. Let's ask this then. Let's go here. Now we know that the Switch presentation is coming up in January the 12th. Is there anything just for topic subject conversation purposes?
Just talking about Nintendo.
Anything that? No, I just asked it because I thought to ask this anyway. Is there anything that Nintendo can glean from the PlayStation experience that they can add and borrow to make their presentation good?
Yeah.
D2K.
Yeah, they can borrow the experience.
Explain. Go more in depth, man. Go more in depth.
I don't need to. That's exactly. I mean, Nintendo. This is the thing: is that Sony does things the way Nintendo used to. In business, in presentation, and they do things the way Nintendo used to do. This is the way Nintendo used to do back in the day throughout the 80s, 90s, and
checking.
We got you.
All right, there we go. My bad. Go ahead, D2K.
Yeah, very early 2000s where they had that flavor, that magic. Whenever Nintendo was got to do something, everything stopped. And you had to, and they always delivered. It didn't matter. They always put on the show. And that's what Sony is doing now. I mean, I noticed it at E3 this year where that E3 presentation was a bomb. So Nintendo just needs to get nasty like that. They need to get more aggressive just with their marketing like that. When the commercial they had for NES Mini was perfect. I said, that is the Nintendo that we need right now. But then we go back to the same old goofy hipster crap that they have for the Switch reveal. Yeah. I'm like, man, get that mess out of here, dude. I'm like, that irritates me, that song. The whole thing just irritates me. Like, y'all took a step backwards. Y'all was moving forward, and then you went backwards again to the same old goofy, casual, friendly style that you've been doing for the past 5 to 10 years. Get away from that. Look at what Sony's doing. Do that and do it better.
My bad. My stuff froze up. Go ahead.
He was.
I'm gonna mute myself, man.
Trying to remember. It sounds familiar. What is this?
It's Mega Man, man. Hold up. My computer acting up.
I knew that was Mega Man, but I didn't know which one it was.
I don't even know why it's doing all this. Hold up. I'm so unprofessional.
Oh, okay.
No, we just lost level.
Oh,
I'm right here. I'm still here.
All right, there we go.
Well, because what we're talking about, what Nintendo. So we have to talk about Nintendo on the podcast. That's cool. But it's cool.
Talk
No,
about everything.
Hey, bro, it's cool though. It's cool.
Go ahead.
I know how it works. But what I think they can do better, and what they can follow is just like it's okay to show like trailers and stuff like that, man. Like it's okay to show videos of something that's not coming out yet. And I know that's something that they really don't do. They really show you stuff that you're gonna get your hands on very soon.
Zelda.
Except for Zelda. Except for Zelda. That is true. That is true. But that may have been a decision that wasn't decided before the video. You know what I'm saying? They may have thought they were coming out with it sooner when they showed that video. But other than that. But I think it's okay to show that and know that the game is not coming out immediately, because you have to generate hype, not false hype, as in some of the stuff that Sony has done over the years, some of that false hype, but some real hype on some games that people are like, oh man, I can't wait to get my hands on that. When that's coming out, oh man, like it's okay to do that. And I think sometimes Nintendo is afraid, not afraid, they shy away from doing it. That's the better way to say it.
no, they're afraid.
Oh, well, okay.
Go ahead, D2K getting burnt up in the comments. Says, go ahead, Jedi Knight. Did you first of all give us your take on the PlayStation experience if you saw it, and then go into what you feel like Nintendo can borrow or learn from the PlayStation experience to make the Nintendo Switch presentation on January 12th good. Go ahead.
All right. Well, first off, let me apologize. I was working for the man, and this is why I'm late. You guys know how that goes.
That's funny.
But yeah, actually, I seen the PlayStation experience today during my my pause. Oh, well, I'm sorry, that's German. My break.
I'm gonna say what?
I thought he said Bowser. I was like, what? Go ahead.
Yeah. And while I was on my break, I was actually watching it, and it's funny because as soon as once you got past the Uncharted and The Last of Us Part 2, I'm like, wow, this is actually pretty awesome. And now I'm taking a liking to it because I finally own a PlayStation 4. So a lot of this stuff is relevant to me now. And one of the things that I thought was like Nintendo needs to really step their game up, because it seems to me that Sony really touched on everything. Games that you can get in the near future, games that you can download as soon as the show ended, demos, everything. I mean, they even had things for the PS Vita. Who the hell thought that was going to happen? You know? So,
and you can play it on. I think I'm gonna make that one of our little clicks where I can say it anytime through the podcast, and you can play it on the Vita. I'm gonna make that into one of my little things.
They were making fun of themselves at that as well. I thought that was pretty cool. And you can play it on the Vita, because they understood that there was somewhat of a fail when it came to support for that device. But Nintendo in general, they really, I don't think that they have to mimic what Sony and or Microsoft does, but one of their main concerns should be third-party support, seriously, because a lot of the games that were showed were from studios that are not like in-house studios, but games that were either exclusive, or if not exclusive, they were third-party games that were coming to that particular console. And these are things that gamers want to have, and I think it is something that Nintendo should take a look at.
Okay.
I thought it was an awesome PlayStation experience. I thought it was cool.
Okay. I would Did we get everybody? Keith, did you share your thoughts?
I didn't.
Go ahead.
I didn't get a chance to share my thoughts, man.
Go ahead.
Nintendo. Y'all listening to me? Nintendo.
Yeah.
Just don't be obvious. Don't be obvious with the games. Here's a Mario. Here's a Kirby. Here's a Donkey Kong. We know that those games will come and they will show up sooner or later. But you trying to grab new people or people that used to play on your consoles. You're gonna have to hit them with something new. If it is third party, so be it. But you gotta hit them with some new content, some new stuff in the vein of like a Splatoon or something like that. You can't. I just don't want to see Nintendo just go out with the same old because people are gonna treat it like it's the same old. No matter how many new features Mario may have in this game, no matter how many new features a Metroid may have, like yada yada, it's gonna go over their head because it's still those titles. Just don't be obvious with the games. And they don't, like I said, like I think that was Jad that said that they don't have to be like Sony, but they have to be Nintendo, but not, if that makes sense.
I like that, Keith. Be Nintendo, but not.
But you know what though? Something I mentioned this before. They need to do something that's really that shocks everybody that they didn't see coming. Like I didn't even know that they had given a company the rights to make this game, but they did it, and they're making the game for the arcades. If they were to just show up at the show and open up the show with something like Cruisin' Blast, that would just set the whole tone for the show. An old school game that people enjoyed back in the day, that people who left Nintendo because they didn't get games like that anymore. You see something like that, you're like, and then after that, it's like, okay, I'm listening to what you got to say now. It has to be something like that. It has to be an old school game like a Wave Race or a Cruisin' or something that you wouldn't expect to see, like a Star Tropics or something from that was from the NES, and you're bringing it back to this modern age. Start off with something like that at the show, and then everything else will fall into place.
I actually agree with that, and I think that something that Nintendo should also do is represent a game that in all reality started on the SNES. Could you imagine if they have a presentation and one of those games was a game like Metal Gear Solid? Like a game that started off on a NES, but in today's gaming, community, it gets no love on any Nintendo console. Like it would really set Nintendo up for gamers to see, okay, well, these guys seem like they're back on the ball because not only are they giving us new stuff, but they're getting old franchises that actually originated on this Nintendo system back again. There's a lot of things that Nintendo could do to really set this correct going forward. But I think that you really hit it on the head, D2K, when it came to that hippie type, position that they're going with. It's like, yeah, that's cool for a 3-minute trailer, but if you're gonna really present something, you gotta hit us with some real good gaming content for hardcore gamers. Something that's heavily story driven, something that people can expect maybe some sort of cliffhanger and expect a part 2 to a game. A lot of the games are fun, don't get me wrong, but they're not franchises.
They're one-offs.
Exactly.
Right. What I was gonna say was, I feel like with the 3-minute trailer that they had, or teaser that they had, it was perfect for what they was trying to relay the message. But I think Nintendo was at their best at the first Nintendo digital event, where Iwata faced off against Reggie. Then they had the chicken. What's that? The some chicken parody and all that. I think Nintendo needs
Robot Chicken.
I think Nintendo needs to return to that Nintendo, that mindset, that idea, because it seemed like they had all the coolness. They touched on, they were different. They wasn't trying to be Sony's cool. It was Nintendo's cool, but it was cool. They had the colorful, fun, not hipster, but not hippie. necessarily, all in that show to where everybody, even folks outside of the Nintendo community, felt like Nintendo took the show that year. Nintendo need to figure out how to bring that presentation to a live stage. That's what they need to do. I feel like Sony is slowly creeping into their identity and being comfortable with what they present. I think even Microsoft is slowly doing that. And I think Microsoft needs to reinvent themselves a little bit with their presentation. But Nintendo, to me, hit it out the park, that first Nintendo digital event. They need to bring that to the live stage. And it goes back to what you said, DGK. What Sony does now is how Nintendo used to hit the stage when Reggie said we about taking names and about kicking and taking names. Like, they need to come back with that attitude that that we hear and we don't care who else knows it. We hear that mindset. I think Nintendo needs to borrow from Sony, because Sony says we're here and we don't care about anybody else. We here and we the only thing you should be thinking about right now. Now, whether that is the actual truth doesn't matter. That's the vibe they give off. We here and you shouldn't even be thinking about nobody else. Whereas Microsoft and Nintendo constantly be like, well, Microsoft always let you know, well, Nintendo's cool, but Sony, don't think about Sony. Sony like, forget all y'all. We the only thing y'all need to focus on. I feel like Nintendo need to take that approach. Boy, that attitude, not their presentation, not how they do it, but that attitude that they have, like, we don't want to share no space with nobody. We want you to only be focusing on us. I think if they come like that, they'll do damage at their presentation. But let's move on from here.
I can add one more thing.
Go ahead, Keith.
Also, just a good balance of games, and also talking about the Switch. I don't want to see too much talking about the Switch. I want to see more games, what you can do with it, and I think that's probably what the general audience is probably going to want to see too.
I agree. More focus on the games themselves than the system itself.
Like, to get the information out there, answer all those questions that people had, debunk all those rumors, but it's all about those games.
Yeah, somebody said, what's his name? Said, I just want to be entertained. I'm like, yes, I want to be entertained.
Isn't that part of the whole point? We don't play the games because we have to breathe or go to the bathroom. We play games because for entertainment purposes. I want to be entertained at the show. Entertainment drives hype or creates hype. Hype drives sales.
Yeah,
people are not going to buy a device just because it's sitting there. They have to know about it from somebody. You know,
Michael Foster. I don't think he meant any negativeness about it. I think he was just saying we just want to be entertained, and I'm agreeing with him. Yes, we want to be entertained. So anyway, let's get off that. Enough Nintendo talk. So let's get back to this Name That Tune. All those listening in the comment section, all those right here in the podcast, Jedi Knight. I don't know how much you got a chance to hear, but we've been on this Name That Tune. So we on our third tune, the name. And okay. So let's go. Y'all ready? 3, 2, 1. Now, K-Bomb, you should get this one, man. I let it play 10 more seconds and I'm gonna cut it out. Man. It's a stage. I let it play a little bit longer, you might get it. I ain't heard nobody say I got it yet.
Yeah, I have no idea. I have an idea, but I'm not sure. It's purely a guess.
Okay, I'm gonna let it play 5 more seconds and we're gonna turn it off.
Oh, I think I got it.
I'm trying to let it get to the part that might trigger something.
Let's play a little bit.
Okay.
Oh man, it's like I think I know what it is, but I don't think it is what I think it is.
I think I know what game it is.
At least, I mean, if you can name the game, I'm satisfied. You might not need to name the stage. Y'all ready? In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Who want to go first? Who want to take a stab at it first?
I'll take a stab at what game it is.
Go ahead, Key.
I hope I'm right. F-Zero? GX?
Nope.
Never mind.
And if you're in the comment section and you listen and you think you know what it is, put it out. We'll name you off. Who else want to take a stab at it?
I'll go. I was thinking Contra.
Huh?
I was thinking Contra.
Nope. Nah, it's not Contra. All right, we got 2 more candidates. Who want to go first? Okay, bud, you still thinking?
Yeah, I'm still thinking. I go ahead, go. I give it.
Go ahead.
That was that was the movie Lean on Me. I remember that scene.
The movie Lean on Me.
I don't know what that is, man.
All right, B2K. Oh, you don't know either.
I want to say a Metroid game, but I'm like, no, that can't be it.
Nah, it's not Metroid. It's Siphon Filter.
Nah,
I never
played
played
I never
Didn't like
played
it.
Filter.
Didn't like it.
Oh, you never? Okay, I thought I would try to
It
draw something.
almost sounded like X-Files or something. The music.
Yeah.
That's why you said PlayStation. Yeah, I didn't like something.
Yeah, I said it was on the PlayStation. I thought you might know it.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Oh, you
All right.
said
Oh man, well we got one more, and we'll do that a little bit later. So let's get into this. How many people seen Doctor Strange here? If you haven't seen it,
I haven't seen it, but y'all can talk about it. It's not gonna bother me.
Jedi, you seen it?
I have not seen it yet.
Do you want us to spoil anything?
No, I don't mind.
Oh, okay, so I don't want to ruin it for you if you plan on seeing it because it's really a good movie.
Yeah, it's cool.
So,
You can talk about everything. I'm gonna see it anyway. It'll be just as good.
Exactly.
so are we gonna flush it, or is it a good movie? Are we? Which one is it, man?
All right, boy. Somebody got diarrhea over there. That was.
Are we flushing it?
Get some Metamucils.
So how many people say it's a good movie? Here, out of
I thought it was excellent, man.
okay. And John Shaw, if you listening, man, let us know in the comment section what you give it, man. D2K.
Like I said before, I didn't know too much about the character outside of the cartoon, so I didn't know what to expect. I couldn't say, well, this is right and this is wrong, and they got that right, and that type of thing. But just as watching it as a movie, as a spectator, as a spectacle, it was amazing. They did a great job of the pace of the movie was very good. It got to the point very quickly. It didn't go too fast. It went fast enough. The humor was timely. I mean, it wasn't like overbearing like in some of the other Marvel movies where it's like, okay, thank you, that's enough jokes. It was a good movie. The special effects were superb. What's the name of the actors?
Cumberbatch.
Benedict Cumberbatch is perfect for that role.
Absolutely perfect.
It's creepy how some of these people are so perfect for these roles that Marvel are casting. It was a great movie. I enjoyed it.
K-Bomb?
Yeah. No, I thought when I first saw them cast Benedict, I knew I was gonna love the movie because this guy has been amazing in almost everything he's done. Even if I don't know if you guys have seen it before, but go on YouTube, man, and watch the guy because he was the dragon, I think, in the Hobbit series. Man, watch him actually perform. They have him in the full motion suit and actually perform as the dragon. I mean, when you see that amount of effort you put into the character, you're gonna love him as an actor. But when I saw that, I kind of knew the movie was gonna be good. Then when I saw some of the trailers, I liked that they went full on, Doctor Strange. Like this movie felt like its own movie. It didn't feel like another Captain America. It didn't feel like another Ant-Man or another Avengers movie. It felt like it was its own self-contained movie in its own self-contained universe, which is not, but it felt that way. And
yeah.
And I thought that was very well done. And I said before, and I think it's probably top 3 origin movies in Marvel history. Top 3 best origin movie.
Yes.
That they've done. Excellent. And so I give this movie mad props. But I did hear something very interesting. I know heard some gripes about it. One of the main gripes about it was the white lady who played the ancient one.
Yeah, I got a problem with that. But outside that, go ahead.
So let me. Okay, so I actually saw an interview about Marvel talked about it, and the problem they had with it is that if you don't know, the ancient one's supposed to be Tibetan, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And so they were saying there was an issue with that, so they could not get a Chinese actor to play a Tibetan character. That's a political no-no. That'd have been an issue. Like the country, like that area, is fighting over the origin of the people, and so they didn't want to alienate their Chinese audience by doing something wrong with the Tibetan characters. But this is what they're coming from. They said that was a no-no, because then we're going to miss out on all of China because we're making a political statement within our movies. And so from their point of view, they were saying, yes, he was originally this, but it was going to be a lose-lose for us anyway. And so we'll rather take the hit and make it because he even said that he knew that people were going to say, here come the white savior again, that the white guy has to come and save. He said it didn't matter what it was, because it was an Asian character. Like, here come the white guy, gotta take the Asian traditions and then save them using their own traditions. And if it was a white character, they're saying, well, here's this white person that has to teach them how to magical arts and all this. So he said it was a lose-lose, and said instead of losing money out in China, they just went ahead and cast it as a Caucasian person, even though they did have some other Tibetan characters they interviewed for.
Let me ask this: did they have any Asians in the movie at all?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So if you got Asians in the movie playing other characters,
but Wong was supposed to be Asian. He wasn't supposed to be Tibetan. Those are two different things, though.
I guess I'm gonna have to look up what's the difference between the Tibetan.
Like Wong
isn't Tibetan like Chinese?
And that's the political thing they were talking about. It's not really Chinese.
Is it Napoleon?
Because that place is in between India and China.
Yo, it's Nepal. It's Nepal, right?
Yeah.
So why not just get a Napoleon?
Well, that's what they talked about. they did interview Tibetan characters, but this is the one that they thought worked for their movie, so they went with it. I'm not really big upset.
I think that excuse is worse than the dude saying Nintendo dude talking about he didn't put voice chat in because of his experience online with Splatoon. I can't buy it. I think they wanted to put that person, that main character. They always do it. Anyway, I ain't gonna mess with it.
I'll show you. I'll send you the interview.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, I mean, she turned out not to be who we thought she was anyway. So it wasn't like she did save anything.
Yeah,
so that kind of throws that out the window. I don't really, I mean, they all have, in this day and age of political correctness being out of control, I can understand, because all they care about is the money, and they're not going to mess with their money.
Mm-hmm.
They're not gonna.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't hurt the movie. I just felt like that character, knowing that character was of Oriental or some of that sort, I felt like it should have resembled that. But outside of that, I thought the movie was great. It was basically in conception on steroids. As far as it was freaky, man. And like you said, K-Bum, I don't know if you said this or D2K, it does not borrow any elements from the other Marvel movies. It's its own thing, and it's almost like Guardians of the Galaxy didn't borrow anything from the other Marvel movie universe. It was its own distinct thing, and it seemed like Doctor Strange is going to be his own distinct thing. And I knew my wife was sitting there getting into it, and she a big Marvel fan, but she didn't know nothing about Doctor Strange. We was both kind of going in kind of green. I know a little bit about Doctor Strange from watching some of the animated movies, but for the most part, I'm a novice when it comes to Doctor Strange. But we was both up in there talking and eating our popcorn and looking at each other, giving off the geek vibe to each other, like we just geeking out in this movie together. It was a good experience with the wife geeking out just as hard as I was. and we left highly entertained and excited, man. Talking about it on the ride home, and we even talked about it when we got home. And so yeah, I enjoyed it, man. I thought it was well done. The graphics were some of the best I've seen. I love how they even in having to rush through explaining Doctor Strange, it was enough to where you understood him. You understood his position. You understood his thinking. You understood why he was able to master the magic as fast as he was, being a person who had photogenic. What is it?
Eidetic. It's actually called eidetic.
Yeah, yeah, where he could see somehow he was just learning all this stuff. It was pretty dope, man. And I even liked how the antagonist worked itself out. It was pretty dope. I have no real complaints outside of the casting for the ancient one.
The only thing I had a problem with was the Easter egg at the end, because I'm like, it was like, okay, I guess, it didn't hit me as to why this happened this way. It just, I mean, I might be missing something, but it just didn't have the same impact that most of the Easter eggs from the Marvel movies had to set up the sequels and stuff like that.
The second one or
the second Easter egg, the very last one.
Yeah, but if you actually know his story in the comics, like the way that they set it up here is much better than his reason for being a bad guy in the comics. Much better. It's the reason why he's a bad guy in the comics is stupid. So I didn't mind the way they set it up here because it makes more sense.
Man, we're gonna have to start talking about a few of these trailers that been leaked, man. Some of these
Going to the Galaxy.
Yeah, all of them, man. We might have to do that next podcast, man.
Going to the Galaxy looks amazing.
But yeah, Doctor Strange was good. Without spoiling it too much for those listening in Jedi Knight and Keith, we don't want to say too much about it. But it is, to me, okay, let's rank it as far as where you feel like it fit in all the Marvel movies that's been released so far, and give it like a number count, if you don't mind. So first, let's get the number count from K-Bun. What would you get it out of a 1 to 10? What would you give it?
It was around a 8.2.
8.2.
Yeah.
D2K?
I give it a 9.
9? Okay. Yeah, I stay up there with you around an 8.5, somewhere around there. I give it. All right, where does it rank amongst the other Marvel movies? Like if you was to have a top 5 list of Marvel-made movies, not the Marvel universe, but the movies made by Disney, Marvel's camp, where does this movie rank amongst those movies? D2K.
It depends on the criteria. If you're saying as far as individual films based off a character, I would say it's probably top 3.
Okay.
If you're looking at all of the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies,
let's just go all
from Iron Man until now.
Yeah, let's go all. All.
That's kind of hard to place that, because there's so many good movies. I mean, I would say that it's probably outside of the top 5, but not somewhere in between 5.
Top 10.
Yeah.
Yep.
So have we done our top 5? We've done top 5.
Yeah, we done top 5 before. I don't know if we've done it for just all of Marvel, but we've done top 5. We did top 5 comic book movies. We know we did.
No, I just want to isolate Marvel.
We didn't do Marvel specifically. We didn't.
Yeah, no, we didn't do Marvel specific. Let's just do Marvel specific, because I know 2 of mine got to go if I do Marvel Pacific, because I had Superman up in there, I had Batman versus Superman in there, and I think I had one of the I think them was the only 2 I had from DC's. So I had Superman, Man of Steel, and Batman versus Superman in my top 5. So, but if I was to do top 5 Marvels, to me, this is about 4. The 4th on the list to me, it'd be Avengers. You could toss up Avengers or Winter Soldier. Either one of those can be one, or it can go 1 or 2, either order. Captain America: Civil War. Yeah, dang it. Then it would go probably Doctor Strange as my fourth, and then it don't matter from that point on to me.
Okay.
Go ahead, whoever want to go next.
I can go ahead and go.
All right.
For me, number one is, dang it, that's hard. I'm gonna go just because it had all of them in there. I'm gonna go the first Avengers.
Yeah.
Then it's Captain America.
Captain America, Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier. God, seriously, don't ask me that. Winter Soldier first.
Okay.
Then probably the first Iron Man was just so classic.
Yeah, it was good. I can't put it in my top five though.
That's three. Then this probably goes Civil War. I did enjoy that movie. And then probably is it Age of Ultron?
That's two.
Yeah, that'll be five for you. So then Doctor Strange will probably be six. Then
It's about seven.
So it's six.
6 is definitely not Iron Man 2. Definitely not
Iron Man 3.
Oh God, please God, no.
Nor to the Thors.
Actually, to be honest, I like the first Thor, man. I'm sorry.
Did not.
I'm sorry. Thor is up there, but I don't know if it's better than it may be 6 then. Ant-Man wasn't better. Thor wasn't. It's probably 7.
Okay.
That part that has to make Guardians. I'm tripping. Guardians actually goes before Iron Man. I'm sorry. So that puts everything down. So it's Avengers, then it's Captain America: Winter Soldier, then it's Civil War, then it's Guardians, then it's the Age of Ultron, then it's Iron Man. Then it's
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange. Yep.
Okay, so 7. All right.
Yeah.
D2K.
Number 1, the first Avengers. Number 2, first Iron Man. Number 3, Doctor Strange. Number 4, Civil War. Number 5, Guardians of the Galaxy. Number 6,
Winter Soldier.
Number 7,
You don't have to go that far.
I'm gonna say Age of Ultron.
Okay, Age of Ultron ain't nowhere near my top 5, man. It's okay.
Yeah.
I like it, but it ain't in my. I only think it's in my top 6 or 7. It'd probably be like you said 8 on the list. Jedi Knight, I know you haven't seen Doctor Strange, but let's get your Marvel order if you got one.
I'll try here. I never really put those in order. I would say the first Avengers by far is number 1.
Okay.
Number 2, I would say Guardians of the Galaxy. 3 is Deadpool. And
that's not Marvel.
Fox.
That's not Marvel though. You gotta stay with the Marvel made. The Marvel
Deadpool is not Marvel?
No, that's Fox.
It was close though. It felt like it was, but
That's
it
Fox.
wasn't.
It's probably the best movie they've done for a while. Fox.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, wait. So I'm confused. I thought
the Marvel Universe.
Marvel character.
You talking about
No, it's a Marvel
universe.
character.
I'm talking about Marvel made the movies that were made by Marvel Studios.
Oh, I didn't. Okay, then I have no idea who made these.
That changes
movies,
everything up. Huh?
Yeah, that changes everything.
Okay, I help you out. It's none of the X-Men. It's none of the Deadpool.
None
no
of
Spider-Man.
the
Deadpool. No X-Men.
None of the
no Spider-Man.
And no Spider-Mans. Yep.
Oh, wow.
And no Blade. Blade don't go in here either.
Daredevil, none of that. Elektra, none of that.
Then I would
anyway.
Iron Man.
Yep.
Iron Man 1. I thought was pretty good. Iron Man 2 as well. I think I would give you just a top 4 then. Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy, and then Iron Man 1 and 2.
Okay. That's what's up. All right, Keith. I know you haven't seen Doctor Strange, but you can at least give us your top 5 Marvel movies outside of Strange.
Absolutely. Let's see.
He's waiting.
He waiting for this one.
Hey, you know what's funny? I'm a DC fanboy, but Marvel been killing it. So okay, all right. Civil War number 1.
Okay.
Winter Soldier number 2.
Yep.
I think those are
Okay.
the best movies they had so far. Well, I haven't seen the new one. Let's say Civil War, Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy, Age of
Okay.
Ultron, and number 5 will probably have to
Wow,
one
no
of the
Avengers.
Avengers is way down there, man.
Yeah.
Really?
I think Civil War was like a better Avengers movie than the actual Avengers.
Civil War, yeah.
They was
Not
all in
Civil
there.
War, but
What's
yeah,
Civil War?
Winter Soldier was to me. Winter Soldier is Avenger can go neck and neck. Okay, that's not bad though. That was different.
The first
wasn't
Iron
bad.
Man definitely that started it all off.
Yeah, I
love
agree
the
with
first
that.
Iron Man. Yeah,
Iron
first-
Man.
I gotta go watch that now.
Yeah, Iron
Okay.
Man was
I'm gonna watch that too.
pretty rough.
Yeah, I gotta go watch it 'cause I ain't seen it in a while. All right, so let's do this, man, because we're getting close to end of time. Let's do this last name that tune. Y'all ready?
Yep.
All right.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ooh. What is this?
I'm gonna play it, Mom.
It sounded like an intro.
Yeah, it sounded like
Let
an
me play
NES
it.
game.
I'll
Yeah,
play
play
it one
again.
more time. It's NES. I'll give you that clue. It's NES. One more time, or y'all think y'all got it?
Nah, man. One more time ain't gonna help us. Let's do it. Come on.
One more time.
One more again.
Oh man, this is killing me, dude. I wish I was on the other side of this. All right, let's start with let's go. Let's see. Who want to go first? Keith? It's
Punch Out,
NES.
Punch Out.
So we isolating it to the NES, so you know it's NES.
Not Punch Out.
No, it's not Punch Out, but that do sound like that Punch Out tunes. Nope, no Punch Out.
Never mind.
That's some more of it right there.
So
That
that kind
Final
of
Fantasy?
Nah, that's not Final Fantasy.
The drums make me think fight. For some reason.
see that this music threw out the idea that I had. This can't be it.
But don't change it. All right.
Is that like the
let's
ending
go
or
with-
something?
Hey, that beat got lit at the end. Hold on, man. Let that go.
That beat got lit. K-Bomb is hilarious.
Let's go with
Them
Jedi
drums
Knight.
came
What
in?
you think it is, man? What you think it is,
Volleyball.
Jedi?
Volleyball.
No, not volleyball. Ah.
Damn. That was actually a good NES
I'm gonna
game,
say
by the way.
D2K for last. So K-Bomb.
I got two guesses. I know it's neither one of them. For some reason, I thought it was some kind of turtles, but I know it's not.
No.
Then I started thinking about Skate or Die, but I don't think it's that either.
Nope, none of those. All right, D2K, you got one right today, man. Hopefully you can bring it home. At least we get two for 4.
Is it a Ninja Gaiden game?
Yeah.
I hate
Yes,
you, man.
it is. That's what I'm talking about. My boy didn't let me down. We didn't look too bad today. I was like, man, we gonna 2 out of 4 ain't bad at all.
Well,
Yes,
which
it's
one?
Ninja Gaiden, man. It's the original Ninja Gaiden.
Okay, never mind.
Ninja Gaiden.
Ninja Gaiden. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always
So,
called it Ninja
yeah.
Gaiden as well.
Yeah, I thought it was Ninja Gaiden, but yes, it's Ninja Gaiden, man. So this was one of them. This is what you didn't hear, Jedi. See if you can guess it. Can you guess what that is?
No.
Rad Racing.
I've never even played it. You got to understand also, I'm like the super casual gamer. When you played the last bit of music, I called it volleyball. I thought it sounded like Super Spike V-Ball. You know, if it was like Bionic Commando or something, I would have caught that.
Yeah, man. This is the other one. I thought everybody would get this one.
I said Mega Man, but
I thought that was the easiest one, huh?
I did say Mega Man, but I didn't know which stage it was.
Yeah, we did get we couldn't name the stage. That's right. So we got 3 out of 4 because you did say Mega Man. We just couldn't name the stage. That's what's up, man. So I'm gonna try to make sure I go deep, dive deep into some more games and try to find some tunes and load them up and see if y'all can guess them. But any final words? So I'm gonna start with Keith.
Nothing really. I appreciate you having me on. It was a good talk. And,
no problem, man. We gonna have you back regularly, bro. So yeah, happy to have you again. Jedi Knight.
Okay, I'm glad I caught you guys when I got in. My bad. It seemed like this was actually a pretty long podcast. I'm actually gonna have to listen to it once we shut it down, so I can see what was talked about. But yeah, definitely next week, hopefully.
Okay. D2K.
I think D2K took his victory trophy and walked off. Oh man.
Okay, K-Bomb, go ahead, K-Bomb.
No, man, just had fun with the podcast, man. Good to have some new faces in here. Enjoy, y'all. I love how y'all still got to sneak some Nintendo talk in, but it's good. It's all good. Love y'all anyway.
All right, D2K, you back?
I'm back.
All right. Any final thoughts?
No, just thanks for everybody for stopping by, listening to us rant and rave for about 2 hours, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, I was also watching your oh man, the name escapes me of this game now. Killer Instinct. I was watching your footage too.
Oh, cool. Thanks.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's something I'm going to be doing every Friday now is the Retro Gaming Friday. So that was first one was Killer Instinct. Next week, I'm thinking about doing space shooters.
Okay. Oh, like R-Type?
R-Type, Galaga, Galaxian, Gyrus, that type of thing.
All right, that's what's up.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this has been, and that Ninja Turtle one you did, man. I watched that whole thing. I think it was like 45 minutes long. I had never seen Shredder on the original Ninja Turtles.
Really?
And never, dude. I could never get past once I dismantled diffused all the bombs and got to the other side. I always got confused from that point on, like
the right path to get to the last board.
Yeah, I didn't know how to get through the stuff. And you talking about 8-9 years old, man, trying to figure this stuff out, man. People talk about these games being hard. They wouldn't have been able to survive what we had to deal with.
No. I used to be nervous because I'm like, man, that game mess up. There's no save.
Right.
No. You get a couple of continues, and you run out of continues, it's a wrap.
Right.
Yeah,
so
that's hilarious that y'all even spoke about that. I remember I had a friend. He had a PlayStation. He used to play Crash Bandicoot, but he didn't have the memory card, and he used to keep his PlayStation on, so he didn't lose his position in the game. The craziest thing I have ever seen for a person that could not save a game. It was real like that back then, man. It was real like that back then, man. He would not turn off the PlayStation.
Man, I remember one time leaving on Mac Tyson Punch Out, man, so I could continue to try to fight and get them codes. I finally learned how to get them codes and can jump to whoever you want to jump to, or you can jump straight to Mike Tyson. But it was real back then.
Or the white guy that looks like Jean-Claude Van Damme on the regular Punch Out version.
Oh, I never played the regular
because Mike Tyson never was really originally part of it. It was just called Punch Out in arcade.
Yeah, it was called Punch Out.
Yeah.
Did the guy in the original fight like Mike Tyson, or he fight different?
He fought well, on the NES version, he fought just like Mike Tyson, did the same uppercut and all that, but he just looked like Jean-Claude Van Damme instead of Mike Tyson.
Man, I actually went back and watched the arcade version of Punch Out, man. It's like, man, Nintendo. People don't realize Nintendo wasn't as they took certain things serious back then. Like, I mean, as much as you could with a boxing game.
Talking about the green mesh guy.
Yeah, it had a lot of attitude to it, man. But anyway, we about to start up another topic. But anyway, this has been the Live and Level Gamers podcast. This is episode 73, our podcast number 73. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Hope y'all can name those tunes when it come up, and we'll keep. If y'all like that, let us know in the comment section. We'll keep adding more of that type of stuff to the show. But still working on the Flush It section where we bring up games and we talk about whether we like it or flush it. But we're working on adding some new aspects to the show. But anyway, this is everyone signing out. Till next time, folks. Deuces.
You are listening to the Live and Level Gamers podcast in association with FullEffectGaming.com. See, we don't play those games. We just play those games. Level Head Game.